Hi everyone, it's Jean. I'm back, and I have to say I'm really enamored with the idea of the fodder and making the botanicals especially. So today was my day to get out all of my acrylic paints, and I use Apple Barrel, and they're like, I think 58 cents or something now, and I have various colors. I told my daughter to get me a few more because I don't have any purples. Can you believe that? But there's a couple things that I wanted to show you. So what I was doing today is just kind of pouring out different colors to see what they looked like, making some shapes and designs with my colors and my brush. And I decided to use some of the paper that I had gessoed. So for example, I tried out this teal, and this is a bluish teal and pink. And I think over here I have some peach and some green. This one, some pink. I'm trying to see if I have any more here. I had laid them out to dry, but oh, okay. Here's another one where I just took some of the paint that I was using and made some marks on the paper. Here's an additional one, and I think that might be it for that process. So you look at these and you think, Jean, what in the world are you going to do with this? So what the process is to look at these shapes and kind of see how you can draw a flower or another type of botanical within the painted area. And you can put a stem on it. If you don't, some of these larger ones may just have to go as large flowers with no stem and maybe just leaves out the end. But let me just show you, for example, I'm going to use my my regular ballpoint pen that I normally use, and it seems to write well over top of the paint. And what I'm going to do is kind of follow the way the paint, the direction that the paint took. So the paint has some dips in it, and then of course it has this part here, and I'm going to join those together. And then I'm looking at it, and it has some swirls like this and like this, and I think it's kind of dark, so you have to forgive me. But I'm looking at this, and if we go around kind of like this, in a like a half circle type motion, and then right here, which is kind of like the center, I'm going to do like a curlicue type thing. And then I'm going to go out here on this leaf and make some marks. And then what you get when you kind of do this is the shape of a flower. Now, of course, it looks different when you cut it out, so we'll do some fussy cutting as well. But we can also, let's say this is the bottom of the flower. We can also add some things like this to make it look more realistic. We can also go in with a white pen and kind of do some dots here and there that will make this a very cool wonky flower. And at this point, I'm only using the white and black. However, I wanted to try some gold, and I have to see if I have any gold. I think I do. I think I do. I have a greenish one that's gold, but I don't see, what color is this? This is, it does not say, so let's just try it over here. I'll prime it a little bit. Okay, it's kind of a green, so we don't want that one. I'll look then and see if I have a gold. I didn't think to bring it out, but gold's a neat color to use because it kind of draws your eye outward. So let's look at this one. Now this one, I would probably start in the center, and then I can see these petals kind of going out like this, and then there's some that go like this, and this is a really fun project because you get to just slap some paint down in some different shapes, and then you get to make these amazing flowers. Now this one, I'm going to put a little stem on, even if it's not super long. And I still am seeing some swirling here and here. So we'll kind of do that on the leaves. And we could actually, you know, with, I really like this one the way it is, but let's take our graffiti pen and just dot here in the middle so that's nice and dark. And I think I'll leave that one the way it is for now until maybe I actually put a leaf with it. I'm gonna try something. If we mess it up, we mess it up. I'm seeing like spaces here that I could still be using. So I'm gonna go for it and add a few more petals here and see how this looks. Just sticking them in where, okay, that one got a little bit high, but we can either deal with it or cut it off later. So I just wanted to take advantage of all the painted areas. If you get some white areas in there, it's really not a bad thing. But if you're trying to stay within your painted areas, this is how you would do it. So this one I think needs a little bit more coaching to, I wanted it to kind of look like a rose, and then the petal coming out like this. Maybe that's what I needed to do, is make it kind of in a little bit of a wonky shape around the edges. So you will see whenever you start to do this what you need to actually do to create the flower that you want for your project. So there are those two. here we have our leaves. So the leaves can, you know, simply be just regular leaves. This one's really nice because it has some variation in color. This one, of course, is really cool, as well as this one. Leaves are another one of my things that I like. But usually the leaves that I make, I end up making on a stem and not just, you know, ones that I can use here. So I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to put a stem on this one. And then I'm going to put two. That one turned out really cute. And you, like I said, if you want to take advantage of some more of that painted area, you can always put some florals behind, some petals behind, and even one down here. You know, the flower, sometimes it's fall and it's starting to fall apart. So this one, these are kind of like one of my go-to designs for flowers, but I don't really know what kind I'm making, so I'm just going with the flow on that one. So I'm gonna put a stem on this one, and I will be able to cut it out and it won't be so flimsy. I like that. I'm gonna take some white and I'm going to go around this part right here. And it doesn't have to be anything special, you know, just something to spark it, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Like your leaves, if you want to do the veins, you can. And if you want to wait until you put it on your flower and see what the flower needs, you could do that as well. So aren't those cute? Just using the way that we put the paint on the paper. Okay, so here we have some. These are reminding me kind of like a cone flower. Oh, I thought, hi Loretta. What are you doing in here? You don't usually come in here. Hi. I don't have any treats. You have to go see Adrian. She must be looking for my husband to give her treats. That one's really cool. And then here is just a matter of kind of doing the same thing, but you can use all that painted space to make petals. And actually we could turn this one this way and it would be a very cool flower like that. I'm loving it. This is a really, really fun project. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do with this one. So I'm going to go around this one. And another thing that you can do if you are not sure of what shape to draw, just outline what you have in the paint. If you have, you know, wonky petals, use them, because that's really the beauty of this project, is that you're creating something that might not look like what you're familiar with, right? So this one, I'm going to put a stem on here. And this one, I don't think it's going to be able to have a stem. I'll see if I can make one right here that's at least sort of long. Depending on where we put it, though, we can always elongate that somewhat. Now, since this one is kind of like a cone flower, I'm just going to put these little dots right here for the top. You have to go get Adrian if you want treats, because I don't have any in here. She's so funny. She's like a human. Aren't all cats like humans? So I'm just coloring that in. And sometimes, like at the bottom of these, I feel like, you know, adding something like this is, oops, that went right in my finger and smeared. Okay. Let me just fix that. There we go. So those are pretty cool. Ooh, look what we have here. So these are going to have to be larger ones that go on singularly. Probably without a stem. Now with this one, I'm going to try, let me move that back so you guys can see well. I'm going to try doing the outline of this. And just seeing how it looks based on the outline. Looks pretty cool. And then I am going to follow some of the paint, and the white kind of wants to go like this, and then okay guys, this one might be a challenge for me, so we'll see how it turns out. White. Pull this one down here and down here and here. And then I'm going to go over like this with these. And over here. And where we have these swooshes, I'm gonna put these in. Swooshes of that one's gonna need a little bit of decorating, I think. So I'm going to put some black dots here and see if we can jazz this one up a little bit. And if you're not happy with it at first, sometimes when you pick it for your project, you may come back to it and make further adjustments to it that you like. So not all of these may be the perfect flower, but we can always improvise then when we're actually applying it to the product or to your journal page. These are great for journal spreads, you know, to put on a journal page. Just when you need that extra something and you have this really cool flower. Okay, so this one, I'll probably start with a circle in the middle as well. And then I'm going to go out to this piece and then out to this piece. We have some right here. And this one. This one here. I remember somebody saying that, you know, there's no worries. Flowers are not perfect. And I really didn't like that sentiment very much because, you know, they are a creation and they're a creation from God, so of course they're perfect. I mean, they may have imperfect shapes sometimes whenever they're starting to dry up, but the flower itself, you know, God looked at his creation and said it was good. So no reason for us not to think it wasn't. Okay, so I'm going to put this little circle here. And then I'm going to use some white to put a few little things coming out like this. I like that one. I'm still not sold on this one. I think I need to work on it another time. And this one, I'm actually going to put the stem like this. Make it a little thicker so it'll have some stability. Yeah, this one is confusing me, but not all of them can be perfect, right? So this one up here, it's kind of a drab color, but we're gonna go ahead and work with it. And I'm just going to make some really big petals and stay within the paint lines. Oops, that's okay. My pen took a detour, and that's all right. The little lines that you make kind of give it some interest. I'm gonna go ahead and put a few wonky little flowers or petals sticking out here where there's still some paint. And I'm gonna do one of these like I like to do. And we will use some white, and I'm just gonna go right around or like inside the petals that I drew. And just kind of outline those. one. And then I'm going to bring them all down. And then we'll do these. And this one. And let me get my black. I want the smaller black. Oh Lord. I have to have, this is just a disclaimer. Every single time I have a video, I have to have either something I can't find or something that crashes and burns. And that was a crash and burn right there. Something fell. So, that's the story about that. Okay. So this one, it kind of reminds me of a rose. So if we were going to do some petals that would look like a rose, bring them out like this, and then we can start to use the outlines of the paint. Here can be a really big petal, and here is another one, and this one, and this one. I'm gonna kind of keep them round, not triangle-ish. And then if we need to, we can add something else to kind of make this so that it looks like a rose in the center. And there's always like extra overlapping petals in roses. So I'm going to make sure that I take advantage of all the painted area and just add some extra like petals on there, lacy petals. That looks nice. Very nice. So we have, I'm gonna try something. Give me a moment. I don't know if this is even primed. Let's see. Okay, too much came out. But I just wanted to cover up that black blob, and then I'll fix it with the dots. This came out really pretty. I'm wondering if I should put, I see some swirls of the paint in here, and I'm wondering if I should just take, like, here's one, take advantage of those swirls and kind of give it a little bit more definition. I have another location I can check to see if I have I'm not sure if this is gold or not. The cap on it looks gold. I don't know if it works. Let's see. Go around the edges of some of these. And sometimes that just gives it that extra 3D look that we need. But I don't know about this color. It might be a lot of these color or a lot of these acrylic markers, if you don't get like a Posca one that specifically says it's gold or silver. Actually, here's a silver one, so that could be a gold one. It just may come out green on on our rose. Let me see if this dried yet. Did it dry enough? It didn't cover it up very good. Okay, so I'll just leave that. So those are the ones that I have, and then I made these earlier. And this one I just absolutely love. So let me do a little bit of fussy cutting, and then we will see after we add some leaves how these look. So I like to leave just a tiny little bit around the edge. It just, if your flower is thin, it just helps to stabilize it a little bit by leaving a little bit of border. Now on some of these, because I didn't use all of the paint splotches and I only used part of them, you won't see a white border. You'll see what's left over of the paint border, as you're seeing here. And as I go around this corner, I see that I can put another petal right there. And there was a video that I was watching that was so interesting, where a person had what they call palette paper, and I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of investigating to see what palette paper is. Another thing that she would do would be she would cover her desk and then work right off of that area. Like put her paint down in that area and then use a roller or use a brush and grab the paint from there. So often she saved that bottom piece that she was working with to keep her projects, you know, clean, and she unloaded her brushes and things like that onto this palette paper or the background paper she had underneath of her project. And I thought that was just so cool. So next time I am painting and I need to unload my brush, I'm going to keep it, keep the paper. And that's another thing. I was working on collages with you earlier when I did the monochromatic greens and blues, ATC, or little cards that I made with sentiments. And the collage papers that were underneath were just book pages, scrapbook paper, whatever I had handy at the moment. But if you save your painty papers that you use to create with, you know, the ones you use to unload your brush, the one you use to wipe up your area, or, you know, jelly print, those types of things. So this one it needs leaves. So let me go back and find my leaf paper. Okay, I'm gonna use this one right here, and we'll just fussy cut it out. Fussy cut it out. Now, what I like to do with these, because they're on book paper, and, you know, it will require additional fussy cutting later. Oh, let's see. I know. Oh, that could have been what crashed. I was thinking my copy paper I had pulled out crashed. It might have been something else. Okay, Jean. So what I'm trying to say is I like to put the flowers, because they're book pages, onto something that's a little bit sturdier. So this is some cardstock. So if we would lay this down here on the cardstock, and then we add our leaf that we chose, we can add it here. Isn't that cool? And then, of course, we fussy cut it out again, but I really love that one. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm not going to attach it to the paper yet. I'm just going to attach the leaf, and I put too much glue on it. So we're just going to attach the leaf right there. And let me cut out this one really quick, and we will add a leaf to it, and you can see how it works on the paper. That other one was tricky to cut around all those loops. You have to do it that way, because if you don't, you won't enjoy it as much if you have to make your flowers simple. The wonkier, the crazier the lines, you know, certainly the better. Now, another thing you may want to do, and this is, you know, certainly your preference, if you want to color in more your stem so that it's all green or variations of green, you can do that with your acrylic pen. You can do that with a watercolor, a colored pencil. You can use all kinds of things to do that with, and then you have another kind of mixed media element to it if you want to paint that. So this one came out very, very cute. So let's get a leaf for it. Now, what I was saying was, let's say you put this on a card or something. If you feel your stem's not long, you could draw a longer stem if you wanted to, or you could just go with what it has and then put a little border on the bottom or something like that. Flower pots are cute. Oh no, now I'll be making flower pots. Okay, so here's a little leaf for this one. I'm gonna put, I think I like it up higher. Let me see how it looks. No, I want the pointy. I want it to go out the pointy way. So let me just apply a little bit of glue here, and I will put my flower on, my leaf on. I like how they stand up a little bit, so that's kind of cute too. So there are two that we made. Let me cut these small ones so you can see how they came out. And then I'll let you all go to your studio and make some paint marks on your book pages, copy paper, cardstock, watercolor, pages. You can use scrapbook paper if you want to, magazines, anything that you want to paint on, you can paint on, because it just is a fun project. Okay, I put around the top before I do the stem. You know, it rained and rained and rained and rained, and now it's like a sauna because the temperature went back up to like 80. So at least we got that nice rain. My husband was worried how he was gonna water his plants, but they came out. They were perfectly fine. Oh, that's so cute. Cute, cute, cute. I need a smaller leaf for that one, so I'm just going to trim this leaf down a little bit, and then I will put the black back on it. Or it may not need it. Let's see. And I have to remember these pens that I use to not leave them out, because with the heat, they will just dry right up. Okay, here's a little dab. And here is our leaf for this one. These are just, I am just so delighted about how they came out. We will forgive ourselves on that one blue one that I still don't like. Okay, on this one, I'm gonna cut off the leaves because I didn't mean to make them. I want to have my painted leaves. So obviously I need to get some greens and swipe some painted green spots. And you don't have to put the gesso behind it either, but I will tell you, if you don't put gesso on the back of on your book pages, when you start swatching your paint colors, it's going to soak through more, and it may be wetter than what you would realize. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons why I just spend like 15 minutes and run through a whole bunch of book pages and just gesso them, and that way it doesn't cause me any issues later when my paper is so saturated. So when you use the gesso, that primes your paper, and then the acrylics will sit on the top instead of soaking down in. I'm going to trim this guy up a little bit, and then I will finish drawing here. And then put a little dab of glue. And I just learned something. This leaf still looks like a little big, but I like it. I learned something interesting about art glitter glue. There was a comment on a video because someone kept saying, well, why is it called glitter glue? It doesn't have any glitter in it. Originally, it was designed for applying glitter because it dries really fast. So that's the reason. So there are my few flowers. I'm going to, of course, cut the rest of them out, and I'm excited to see where we can use them in our journals. This one's really nice. I'm not sure about that one still. I'm gonna have to do some fixing. These are really quite cool, the coneflower ones and this one. So let me know what you think of this little project, and I'm sure I will have more to come. So thank you for watching, and if you're going to try this, try you know, getting out your gold pens and your silver. I'm not going to do any silver on here, but I'll do a little bit of gold, and if they're metallic, they'll make that center stand out, and it'll be really cute. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I am so happy you're here. And if you know anyone that would like these types of videos or would like to see more of junk journaling and embellishments, these are our floral embellishments for the month of August. You know, just share my video, let them know that I'm out here, and I would love, love, love to have someone join me in making these beautiful flowers. Also going to put it out there that I have ATCs. I would love to trade or share. So if there's anyone that is doing ATCs right now that would like to trade or share, please let me know, and we'll be happy to share those with you as well. So have a great night. Love y'all. Bye for now.